Hello, my squishies. It is Friday night. It's just after 6 o'clock. It is felting time. As usual, I'm going to wait just a second until somebody pops on the live stream and says hello and that they can hear me. Because I have been known in the past to chat to myself with the mic off for a considerable amount of time. Um, so fingers crossed somebody says hello. Otherwise, let's do a quick rundown of what we have been doing and what we're planning to do tonight. Oh, people are chatting, but I can't see the comments. Hold on. Sounds good. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Mom. So this is a different stream from what we normally do. Normally, I've got a kit and we do it in one sitting, or I've designed a kit that we do in one sitting. But I've decided to do a longer one that's going to do over 3 or 4 weeks. So that we've done week 1 already, and we've done this so far. We're then going to do some more tonight, and probably some more in a week. Not a week, it's every second week. It's very hot here, and my brain is not working. We're going to do it, in 2 weeks' time, and then maybe another in another 2 weeks' time. So we are doing a big picture of Fort William, which is the town where I have my shop. I have a little wool shop in Fort William. And this is looking across the loch to Fort William. Now, the reason I'm not doing this as a kit is because I'm going to put loads of stuff in it that I can't put into a kit, and it's slightly bigger. Now, we had initially intended to do it as, let's get the picture, this. So we were going to do a thistle, and then have the background all fuzzy and nice. And I did the background, and I really like the background just as it is. And we took a poll last time. Exactly, Ruth. We did a wee quick poll last time as to whether I do the thistle or we just leave it as the picture. And of the people that responded, ignoring my mother, we're going to keep it as this picture. We're not going to put a thistle on it. I'm going to do a thistle, a more detailed thistle, in the future. We're going to work more on just Fort William view. It has been decided. I still like my thistle idea. I reserve the right to change my mind and just see what comes out of this. But I really like the Fort William view. And I found a big frame. This is not the frame, this is the insert of the frame. That I think if we put it there, that will be a nicely framed picture. So, I only had it longer because I was going to put the thistle coming up all of it. So now we can actually just chop it off to that, not chop it off, but shorten it to that size. So what I'm going to do is literally just Sharpie kind of, so there's no point in me going any higher than that bit there. I'm not going to chop it off yet because I reserve the right to change my mind again, but I can Sharpie it quite happily because if needs, I can just chuck some wool over that and pretend it never happened. Right, yes, so the plan is tonight we're going to put in more detail in the foreground. I think I want to lighten up the foreground a little bit as well. We didn't do any detail on the hill. The hill is still a blank canvas, so we're going to do more Ben Nevis-y detail on Ben Nevis there and pop some life into the sky. Now, what I'm going to show you, have I forgotten something? I'm sure I've forgotten to explain something because this is a weird stream. I'm not explaining how to felt, I'm not explaining what's in the kit. What have I forgotten? This is just a random stream. What I am going to show you is what I've been working on in between times, because I promised you guys last time I would not touch this in between times, and I kind of did, but all I did in between times was on my needle felting machine, zoomed all over it, and I put no more colour. I was very good, but I have been working on. So I'm going through my back catalogue of sort of semi-finished felting pictures, which I have a lot of, and embellishing them and putting them up for sale in the shop. And I've started on this one, and look, I've been adding yarn to this. That's not a loch. What's that? The river. And it's just absolute so much fun. So that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to add yarn all over this one, put in loads of texture. I haven't done this bit yet. Ignore that bit. Just look at the river. So that's what we are doing tonight. Is just playing. Let's move that out of the way because that's distracting. No. Just playing. Add it. Woo! Wasn't me. I've lost it. Sylvia, why on earth are you underneath a blanket just now? Oh my, it is absolutely roasting here. Poor Peanut, the shop dog. I keep going down to the loch and just chucking her in the sea because she gets so hot. She's just been freshly shaved and she is a lot happier now, but still, oh my. Right, concentrate. We can do this. I need to put some stuff in the hill. I want to fiddle around in the foreground because that's my favourite bit. But we're going to do a little bit more in the hill because it doesn't look like Ben Nevis at the moment. Although, to be fair, we could just put clouds over it because that's what Ben Nevis always looks like. Whoops. But no. So I've got my lovely rack of colours just sitting beside me. And we are gonna have a go. So I don't like that I can see the pre-felt. So underneath this is pre-felt. It's lightly felted wool that comes in big sheets, which I now sell in the shop. Finally getting stuff together. And I just put the picture on top of that. And I can kind of see that I can see through it, so I don't like that. So I'm going to add a little bit of... Oh yeah, if you are just joining for the first time, you need some kind of scaffolding so that the blanket is not on your lap, I think is the only answer. Yeah, if you are joining me for the first time, this is going to be a chaos stream. You're welcome to come and join the chaos, but please understand, I'm not always this chaotic. I mean, I am sometimes. And I normally give more instructions about how to do this. But this stream is more for people who already know what they're doing with felting and just want to watch and laugh at me for an hour while I make chaos. So Ben Nevis, the top of Ben Nevis is quite stony and rocky. Where is my grey? Oh, it's out of reach. We're going. Give me a grey. Got ya. Because it's the highest mountain in the UK. And at that altitude, don't ask me what that altitude is, it doesn't get much vegetation on top of it. I'm going to add in some grey at the top, and we want to put in some dark bits because there's kind of, so I've got, you can't see where I'm looking because you can't see my face, you only see my hands, but right in front of me, just across there, is our inspo sheet from last week. So obviously we're ignoring all the thistles, but we've still got all the mountain inspo that we've got here. So I keep looking at that and to give me some inspiration on how it's looking. So we've got Cow Hill there, and there's kind of a more of a donk down there, and there's kind of a mountain in front. So I want to make that. If it doesn't look exactly like Ben Nevis, I do not care. Well, I do care. Ah! Don't stab yourselves. I'm not bleeding. It's fine. Oh. So it does, in the height of summer, lose, I think, all of its snow, but it is not for very. So, sorry, Sylvia asked if Ben Nevis always has snow on the top of it. So it doesn't. It does lose its snow generally. I think there's one pocket that I keep seeing on Facebook that kind of lasts the longest, but does eventually go. But it's not for very long, and it comes back fairly quickly because it is rainy, and at that altitude it tends to snow pretty quickly. So I'm just taking greys and browns, and to be honest, just kind of smooshing them everywhere and just seeing what happens naturally. Felting is a science and an art. Do I like that? I am one to do something and then, can you see, you probably not, how tiny an amount this is. So I put a little bit of colour down, and then I'm going to cover it up with a little bit of another colour, and it kind of blends it in nicely. Now, yeah, it kind of does have there's a sort of valley there. It's also too hot for me to think, because I'm Scottish and we are not accustomed to this heat. It is shocking. I'm sure there has been years where it has stayed snowy all year round, but not anymore. And so a lot of these colours I have pre-blended on my drum carder. So I've taken a few of the colours and just blended them together on the drum carder to speed up the process. I think I want it to be a little bit more green. Yeah, that's better. So I have, this is now gossip time, because this is not an informational stream, this is a random nonsense stream. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow, which is very exciting. My old flatmate is getting married, and I, along with everyone who went to the hen do and my mother, thank you Mum, knitted 100 flowers for the wedding. So they're roses. In fact, do you want to see an unfinished one? I've got one left that I haven't finished. It's not together, but you'll get to see what it looks like. So on my knitting machine, I knitted roses and then 3D printed the stem, and then we sew them together and make it all nice and neat. So we've done 100 of them. It's been a wonderful mission. I'm going to her wedding tomorrow, and I'm going to assume she's not watching this because they're at a wedding dinner tonight, I believe. So I'm fine to say this. So with all the leftover yarn that when I was chopping and sewing it all together, I've kept it all because I am, nothing if not a yarn hoarder. And it's all separated into colours. Soon I'm going to do a felt picture. They're getting married up in Glen Uig, which is beautiful on the beach. I'm going to do a picture using all the scraps of yarn that I collected from the roses of where they got married, of the Glen Uig beach. And I'm super excited. How is that looking? Oh, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, super excited to do that and give it to them as a a slightly late wedding present. I think I want more grey at the top. And the reason I didn't do any of the hill last time is because like boring top of hill is surprisingly boring. I need to put a little bit there, I think. Have we got an appropriate... I feel like I'm asking you. Yes, very excited for the wedding. I think of myself as a yarn dragon, so it is my yarn hoard. So yeah, so maybe I'll do that live, but then they'll see. Maybe not. We'll see. I might show you at the end. Ah, that's better. More browns. More browns better. And we need to get... So, the top of that hill. Grab some... this. Ooh. Do I like this? There's some interesting colours in it. There is like a tree line. It's not a tree line, it's a... gorse? No. Bracken? Heathery, brackeny line that does go along the top of the hill. Because this hill here is Cow Hill. And we will be using a lot. Like, the yarn I hoard. Okay, so the yarn I hoard in the full hanks, I will knit with or do something big with. But I just love collecting all the scraps, and we do use them so often in the shop and in life. They've come in handy so often, it's ridiculous. Bless. I had a lovely lady in the shop the other week, and she was like, "Oh, I like collecting little scraps from every place I visit. Do you have any yarn scraps?" And I'm like, "Yes, but they're all mine, and I refuse to give them up." So I might have to do some kind of yarn amnesty. We will see. And put together scrap. Got distracted halfway through a sentence. Anyway, right, we've done a little bit on the top of the hill. This is too dark, this is too dark, this bit's too dark. I want to put a little bit in the sky. I'm going to use some slivers to pop in some clouds. Because Fort William is cloud central. Do I put them round the top of the hill being all wispy? Yes. I love slivers for clouds. They just make clouds. I think, what is it they say? Fort William or Ben Nevis 80% of the time has clouds at the top of it. So if you do have a day when you're up Ben Nevis and it's not cloudy, you should be incredibly grateful. And you can't actually see Ben Nevis from Fort William itself. Because Cow Hill's in the way, which is kind of funny. So when people come and ask which one is Ben Nevis when they're standing in Fort William, I'm like, none of the ones you can see. I'm so sorry. Just want to make that edge more edgy. That is a technical term for making an edge more edgy. Oh yeah, please. Oh, am I going off screen again? Nobody told me. Okay, now stop faffing. Let's start using some yarn. The fun bit. Right, first of all, I want to do my traditional. So this is my yarn collection. This is all the white in a manila folder. Is that the right word? I don't know what the correct term is. And I've got some that I've taken out of jumpers, which does make great waves. And yep, this time we're definitely cutting stuff. As the waves. Now don't worry if it, or do worry. Yeah, you can worry if you like. You can split it up into smaller bits as well. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit too much. I'm already at the concentration. So I'm normally quite chatty at the beginning of these streams, but like they could. You're okay, Sylvia. For very chatty at the beginning of the streams for a good like first 45 minutes, and then I suddenly go quiet and concentrate because I'm doing like the fun end bits where you're just doing little details. But because technically we are already halfway through this stream, I'm already kind of concentraty. I want that to go right to the edge, and then let's get some tiny this one is pretty good for it. I really like taking this 4-ply yarn. I think it's Shetland Blueface Leicester mix. And splitting it up into its little components. There we go. Hey Penguin, you made it! Welcome. This stream is unusual. We are not doing a kit again, we're doing the second half, or the second third of a bigger picture, and I am rambling complete nonsense. Okay, let's get some blues in here. So we've got, look at that, that's a full, yes, full blue. And I'm going to put in at the shore. I really love pulling the yarn into its component bits. Little bits of this. Different, yes. Different colours, different textures. Like, so this is some of my hand spun that didn't work out, so I just pulled it off and put it into the box. But it's a mixture of blues and greens, which is great. So there's no failure ever. Just because it didn't work out as yarn doesn't mean. So it's like seaweed in there. The seaweed! So you can more green bits. Do I want to put in? Nope. Oh, do I want you in there, or are you too? You're not blue enough. Oh, you're fun. Don't know what you are. I was just reading your comment, Penguin, and I'm like, what's a blue foot bag? Where, what is? I am confused. A blue floof bag. Yep, I have bags of all different kinds of floof. You can never have too many. Let's put some across there. Different. Yep, I'm just stopping halfway through sentences. It's too hot. It was in my lounge at home, 28 degrees. Oh yes, Sylvia. That reminds me. Yeah, yes, waves crashing. It's perfect for frogs. Will be. I was out in the loch with Peanut this week. I've said this already, but we were standing in the seaweed, and I looked down, and there was this massive crab just chilling in the seaweed, and I looked at it. It looked at me, and then it ran away, and I'm like, ooh, I'm glad it did not just eat my toes. And now I definitely, the fear of getting into the seaweed because of, creatures nibbling your toes is now fully justified, since I have seen said crab in said seaweed. Oh my god. Am I crazy? Yes. I'm literally pulling in half 4-ply yarn. Right, is this that should be level. Let's scooch that off a little bit. You, I'm not sure I like you. I might pull you apart. That's better. Okay, right. We are liking this. Do I want to do some dark bits in the center? Because the loch is super, super deep. And now I know I could literally just use roving, especially when I'm pulling it apart like this so much. But I don't have roving in all these colours. And I'm not going to buy roving in all these colours. And I have the yarn hanging around. So it just makes... Is that too much? I think that might be too much. This gives you a lot more variety if you are not afraid to ramble nonsense, apparently. Oh, thank you. I feel like it's a watery, colory inspired. There's even part of crochet still up in there. What am I looking for? Do I want some really bright blue? Yes. Oh, yes, that makes it pop. Okay. Am I happy with see? No, I want more whitey bits. Oh, so this yarn is lovely. This is some Digilpin yarn, and it is chain plied. So it's plied and then plied together. Is that too light? Possibly. Let's have a look. Let's see. It's like a seagull. Yeah, that's too white. I want a little bit more blue. And again, this is literally just roving. Because we like a stormy sea. Thank you, Sylvia. I always get to the stage where I really doubt what it is. I get when yeah. So there's always like that messy stage in felting, and you're like, is this gonna turn into a thing? Am I just being an idiot? Especially because I'm doing it live. And I think this is too dark. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Right. Yep, happy with. I will obviously come back to it. Obviously, I will come back to it because, as I said last time, I like to jump around and do all the little bits. But I'm going to work on this canal. Now, I decided last time this was too dark. And am I going to just make... Okay. I need your help in the comments. Do I fudge it and make that a beach? Yeah, because Cool Beach looks across there. So this could be from Cool Beach rather than the canal. So I can put some beach in there. Yes. Yes. I say with confidence. Gonna make that beach. So now I need some yellow. Put the blue back. And oh, am I going for my traditional beach or the traditional beach? I would just use roving because the roving colours are really nice. So let's start with roving. Already that makes me happier. Yes, I feel like yeah, everybody has agreed in the comments. We are going for beach. Cool Beach does look across at this view. It's just slightly more to the left than what this view is. Don't tell anyone. I'm trusting you guys to keep this a secret. You. Yes, you. Don't tell anyone. I'm not going to tell anyone. Except all of you guys. We don't talk about that. That's better. Oh, and not only tomorrow do we have the wedding, but there's a yarn festival in Fort William, which I can't, well, I'm going to in the morning, but I can't, obviously. I've got to leave and go to a wedding. So the Yarn Festival in the Never Centre tomorrow. We are very excited. It does mean an early morning before to go and set up. I'm going to be taking all of my kits. It should be great fun. Wonderful Liz. No, lies. Liz cancelled on me. The wonderful Andy and her mum are going to be womaning it for me. Once I have left for the wedding, it should be brilliant. We will see. I'll let you know how it goes next time. It's the first, I think it's their first proper time at the Never Centre. No one will ever know. This is very true. So I always like to do the dark sand down on the beach where the sea is, hitting it, and then lighter higher up. Oh, I'm getting hungry though. How's your crochet coming along? Sylvia, have you melted yet? I can't believe you're doing it in this heat. When I get home from work at the moment, I'm crocheting a little top, but that's tiny. But at the moment I'm doing a present for another friend's 40th birthday. And it's a beaded necklace, so it's just beading, so it's really nice. I don't have anything warm sitting on me, which is a relief, shall we say. Okay, so I want to put in, I just love adding the texture of yarn to these pictures. Nope, too yellow, wrong yellow. Waterline, waterline, or waterline, or waterline. There's too much choice. Gold. So again, whoop. Ooh, row 153 of how many? I don't want to, oh, ouch. Yeah, I'm doing, the top I'm doing is just a hexie cardigan, so it's super simple and quick and fun. Yeah, there we go, that works. So my next question for you guys is, I'm putting in all this texture with the yarn. Normally, I would just go over it all, especially if it was a picture in one of the round hoops that we normally use. I would go over it all with the needle felt machine and make it all super well stuck in, so that when people buy it, it doesn't come apart. But if I'm putting it in this frame, it's going to be behind glass, so I could leave it with all this fun texture. So I might not go that hard. Ooh, that's fun. Yes, okay. Oh, is it? Yes. What do you call it? You're not felt alone. Help, Sylvia, help. I've lost my words. Your crochet along. Thank you. Oh, look at this. The variegated yarn does so much work for me. Is this cheating? By using variegated, I don't think it's cheating. I think this is using the tools at hand. Yes, I like that. Ooh, yeah, some nice deep frames would be excellent. Right, I'll see. We have got a local framer, so I might just take it. If I'm happy with this at the end, I might actually go and get this professionally framed. We will see. Too white, too white. I think I want some more of you. Also, hello, Sharina. Please tell me I pronounced that right again. Yeah, the texture is so fun. I think that's one of my favourite things about felt, is that you can be so textural. And it does so much of the work for you. What time are we at? Oh my god, we've been here for 45 minutes already. I feel like I've done nothing. Have I done anything? Is this just... Am I imagining this? Yes, it's improved. I think this is going to be a 4 stream. This is Chatting and Felton. Chatting and Felton. Yeah, I really don't want to go over this on the machine. I want this to stay loose. I tell you this. Yay! Thank you. I mean, I can pronounce names. Can't say words half the time, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, I always tell you guys in my actual proper streams when I'm showing you how to do the kits is that there is no finished. There's no correct finished felt. It is finished when you say it is finished. So if you want it to be nice and fluffy, then it is finished when it's fluffy. But if you want it to be, like I was saying, if it's a high use thing that's going to get touched all the time and out in the open, then yeah, you would want to definitely make it sturdier. or more thoroughly felted, shall we say. But no, if this is going behind glass, I don't have to worry about it. I can leave all these lovely little textury lumps up and down. I wonder, is there any, should I, this might sound weird, bear with me. Should I hairspray it to keep it? To make sure it is stays where it should be. I don't know. That seems weird, but hey ho. Right, I want brown. I want some rock. Let's get rid of the yellow. White can stay. And yes, my boxes are in rainbow order, in case anybody was interested. So this yarn, oh my god, right. I don't know where did I get this from? It is not a nice yarn to touch. It's, I would say, a friend would call it badger's yarn, but makes great little rocks. Yeah, because it's got all these little textury bits and grey bits. It rocks. Ha 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 ha. I'm sorry for that you had to listen to that. I want to put in some smaller rocks right in the and now I'm going to put some green there, but I want a lighter green. Green's going to go on the other. I feel now I'm surrounded. I'm just a little goblin surrounded by boxes of yarn. What has my life become? Oh, so there's some that I've taken out of a jumper, you can tell. Oh, so when I was playing with the other yarn, let's see if I can find something I want to put with it. I want lighter or darker? That's exactly the same. I was doing this fun thing, and again I feel a little bit like cheating. So I was taking the two yarns, so two slightly different coloured yarns, ooh, penguin, that's good to know. Also, yeah, we used to use hairspray for charcoal. Sorry, got distracted. So I'm holding these two yarns, and as I'm felting them down, I'm just kind of twisting them as well and letting them, twisting them so that they go over each other and create sort of natural light and dark areas that I don't even have to think about. It's wonderful. I know you can't see very well. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. I'm going to put in some different areas of different textury plants by using different colours. Too light? Is there such a thing as too light? Oh, that's going there. Watch a woman go through a box of yarn. This is what you you come with the promise of information, and you stay to look through my yarn collection. It's beautiful. Okay, as long as you're learning and enjoying it, I will continue doing this. I do feel sometimes like like I'm just going to put in different patches of different colours. Oh, that's a really nice one. That's a Jameson and Smith, or Jameson's, I think, jumper weights. And the really nice thing about Jameson and Smith is that they get different colours. So they dye loads of different colours and then blend them together while they're spinning the yarn, and you get beautiful colours throughout the yarn. And it just, oh, look at that. That is immediately got little pops of yellow, little pops of dark green. I'm telling you, use yarn because it does all the hard work for you. Do we go really light? Yeah, let's go really light. Let's be brave. A light squidge there. Yes. And a little bit more of you there. Oh, what's this one? Oh, yes. Sharina, I also would like to try that. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Could you imagine with all the yarn? Maybe that's one. Concentrate face. Ah, maybe that's one we do. I do feel like I'd want to take my own photograph of it though, and I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Right, this little area needs more stuff in it. Oh, I like that one. Ooh, don't cut the yarn you've already put in. I feel like I want to put like a bigger rock there. Yeah. Pop in a bigger rock. Now, with this bigger rock, I'm going to do all over with the dark brown. But I want to put some highlights where there's like light little bits. So I'm going to take a lighter brown. Some of this. Is that too light? That's too light. Some of this. And again, I'm going to even. So avoiding like around the bottom where it would be darker. I'm putting light little bits where ideally the top of the rock is. And around the bottom of this rock, so it's quite a big rock, I'm going to go really darker with the yarn. Do a dark circle essentially around it. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. And I don't need this bottom bit to be straight. I don't want this bottom bit to be straight, in fact. I want it to be fluffy and all over the place. Like me. I am fluffy and all. Oh, yeah, 6N yarn would work excellent for waves. And it would, again, do all the hard work for you. It'd be great. Right, I would like to see, you've got homework to do this, you know. We're going to check up. If I don't remember in 2 weeks, Penguin, you're in charge. Remember, we've got to check and see if you've done, if Sharina's done your homework, done her homework. Her? Him? Their homework. Your homework. Okay. Yep. I'm getting really happy with this. Can you tell I knit with green green a lot? So these, I've got lots of these things. So when yarn is in a hank, it's tied together and you generally have to cut the ties off just a few times around to keep it together. And I save every single one of them because even though they're short little bits, they come in so handy. Okay, I think we are almost there with the grass. And we're almost there with time for this week. Yeah, we're definitely doing at least, I would say, 2 more streams before this is finished. If that's okay with you guys. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, Sylvia, you're in charge of remembering. Because my brain's not going to remember anything. Okay, I'm super happy with that. We've got C. C is happy. We've got a lovely little beach going on. I'm really happy with how these plants are coming out. Don't know how is it showing off on camera. Hopefully pretty good. Right, let's do a little tidy. Right. I'm also, so I like to, the closer this something is to you, the more detail I'm going to try and put in. That's why I'm spending a lot of time on this foreground. And as it goes back, it's going to get less detailed. And now I'm going to just, I'm not going to run this through the machine. Yeah, none of us are going to remember. But I am going to give it a good stabbing good stabbing. Don't stab my fingers. All over it just to make sure it's all in there. I feel like I might do a few more rocks there. I'm going to try not to fiddle with it over the next 2 weeks and only do this live on camera. But I reserve the right to do a little bit more occasionally. But my dinner will be ready when I get home because Mum and Dad are up looking after the Peanut, the shop dog. And I'm quite excited for that, not gonna lie. Okay. I am happy. I'm content. We have made progress. Up to there, I'm really happy with. There, I'm mildly happy with. And then up further, needs work. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining me for the random hour of stabbing and talking nonsense. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I will be post my friend's wedding. I will be post yarn show. Hopefully everything will be calm. And we'll get back to felting. Thank you for joining me, my squishies. It has been wonderful as ever. Do your homework. Pointing at you. Do your homework. And I will see you in 2 weeks.